Hello, everybody. Welcome to your Daily Fix. It's February 16th, Friday, or fucking lucky duck, Saturday, February 17th on the other side of the world. This is NFA OFC with me and Canna Crypto Pope, not financial advice of bloody course. Usually, and we're going to do that again today, we start with the money flow cycle, market cap, dominance, Bitcoin, and ETH, which gives us a heads up on how the money is moving in the market so we can make more educated decisions about what we're going to do with our money. We're going to catch up on the things we've been looking at: Cosmos / Atom, Kisuma, Phantom, Casper, File. Is it File or Filecoin? I'll have to ask Pope when he gets here. And PYR. Then we're going to talk a little bit about the psychology of the market. So without further ado, Pope can join me. There he is. Hey, buddy.
Just putting the drink down. Happy Friday. Show number 30. That's absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
And we do get a little bit of metrics. And it's kind of crazy that we're averaging anywhere from 150 to 200 views a show. So
Sweet.
That's kind of weird. But we're having fun. And that's all it's all about. So as I always say, let's get into it. Let's dig in.
Heck yeah, let's do it.
I mean, we drew where the height of support and resistance was a while ago. We were excited to get back into those 1.9s. We were talking, it probably was going to be difficult because it took us a while to get there. And I said, this used to be a target until we got into the $3 trillion market cap. It makes sense with all these ups, the critical greed firing, that we're going to consolidate. This will probably curl a bit. We'll see money Friday come out of the market for the weekend. Hopefully we'll get some good juicy entries on your Sundays on the other side of the world and Saturday nights for us. And that's what we look for, is the red sale days. So we are holding this 1.8. I would be shocked if we we might see a wick down of the 185. Most likely we'll hold this 188, 184, in there. I don't see any major pulls coming out of the market with the news, which we'll get into after this. Dominance. We always want the Dom to go down. It's been doing its nice little retracements. Like we said with this, the other day, it's probably more up here. This probably over the weekend, we'll see this start to go up again. Money will come out of the alts, flow back into Bitcoin. And we're going to, just like we do every week, unless it's just been bang, bang on, and they're clean, not like this cluster, we'll leave it on. But previous in the week, we were talking about how we were looking for either consolidation in the middle, a breakup to test the consolidation rectangle on the weekly as we're on the daily. And we've been calling Bitcoin for quite a while, but we said the other thing, it can move fast in either direction and consolidate. We said this could happen down the road. That's why it's over here. I don't want to put it down there, but it could. And we'll leave these, kind of try to keep them together, because that's what we've been looking for. This was we want to consolidate. This is the healthy natural retest. These two lines here are where we were saying it needs to retest the top of it, or we're just going to keep bouncing around inside of it. So far, doing a pretty good job of holding.
So that's not retesting or not retesting. It's just hanging.
Well, exactly. And the retest is like, if it keeps, the longer it holds, the more strength.
Right.
So we now know from what we did before, it had to stay in these. And I think we'll probably see, just like we had this squiggle, this will probably be a little bit of our retracement if we don't hold this line. We need to hold this line. We'll get rid of this one now. So we shot from here faster to up here, but we knew it was coming and we had to hold it. Let's watch. So far, Bitcoin's doing everything very healthy, up retracements. And we talk about how it's always just a few percent or it's massive jumps. Ethereum's been the one that's made me happy because we've nailed this for so long. And same thing. Healthy retracements. Not able to break the weekly box. We came out and tried, almost stayed over. We got almost to the same point there. Pulled all the way back in, made it all the way to the top of it. And now, sadly, today, it's pulling down. I would probably think it's going to be somewhere between this level of daily support on the 2,728. And I'm sure if you rewind us, we said we were going to be contesting these areas and possibly the threes. But we knew we would have this problem trying to get out of here. So we might keep doing this. I'd be doubtful. I still say we consolidate over the weekend. We may do this kind of a thing over the weekend. And then maybe we get to go up to our next level in here. All right, where's our price action? Right in here.
Space Boy's here and he says he needs his fix every day. Lol.
Dude, you've been doing so well, man. Reading what you wrote in the Discord, and I replied to you. I know you know. And just to see the success, to see that curve, that like, fuck yeah, this is starting to make sense. And you're applying the strategies and seeing success with those strategies. That's cool. That
Pope loves a good aha moment.
Uh-huh. So far, everything's doing kind of what we want. You know, we had the PPI numbers that came out, and there was some quick action in that day up and down. We talked about CPI before, Consumer Price Index. PPI is Producer Price Index. So not only like the CPI, which is a measurement of inflation for the consumer, PPI is a measure of inflation. PPI is the measure of inflation for the companies, the producers, the people that are making our goods. And when those go up, it costs us more to buy them. So it just has that trickle down effect. And when they budget, we all kind of know what's going to happen. But when those targets get a little higher, that's when everybody panics. But a lot of these news events just cause swings in markets. A lot of them become kind of like what Supreme calls a nothing burger. Love it. The news events that sway the markets heavily are like black swans. When things go really crazy in the news, you know, like black swans are the war or major events and things like that cause all markets to crash. People are saying and speculating, oh, the PPI numbers are affecting the Dow and the S&P 500 right now. Are they? Did the Dow fall? Yeah. But it's also been on a 5-week high tear. Makes sense. People are taking profits. And then the S&P 500 had its all-time high at 5,000 just a little while ago. And then when these kind of news comes out, did it go into precious metals? Did they just start taking it out? Did it, go into different currencies? That's where you can look at the total market caps of other markets to try to figure that out. But that's also the Shiba mentality. And yeah, we saw some quick downs and quick ups, and we're starting to see some downs on Friday. Huh. Craziness.
I'm
Absolute
excited
crazy.
I'm excited to learn how to also make some percentages when on the way down, because I know that you can find
Mhm.
those ups in there. But I understand that there's a system to it, but
It's way harder of a game to play the ups when you're in a down market. Short it. And that's when we were saying with Casper, which we're going to go into in a minute. That's what we're saying when that happens, right? Don't fight the money flow. This is why I stress the market cap, the dominance, and Bitcoin and ETH so much. These four things right here dictate our market. Stop. And when you start to see how it works in the flow, we're not trying to get the home runs. We're trying to get in between the bottom of each one. We're trying to find those retracements, get out, buy them again. But this isn't long-term holding. We talked about that. Supreme made a great point in our Discord. Like this trading style should not be your full deck. This trading style is a lot higher risk, but you start to see the ebbs and flows of the market. And if you know me, I've said always start small. Go for those 1%, 0.5%, 2%. Those are huge.
well, and I
Get
think
in,
when
get out.
if the market starts going down, I mean, it's really going to challenge. I mean, and we're talking about the psychology of the market later. It's really going to challenge that for some people. So that's why we're doing it now and learning it. So when that happens, it's not going to hit you like a freight train.
Emotion is a big part of this game, but let's break it down and look at it from we've been watching all these shows.
Yeah.
The tokens that we've been talking about got in where we said we'd get in. Where are they? We've gotten to know them over 30 episodes. And if the sky is falling, how bad? Does Cosmos right now look like a bad trade? We got in here and we're here. Could you have ridden this pullback and go and up? Sure. But if you were just holding and you don't want to do these ins and outs and retracements, you're still at 7% in a week and a half or so. Sorry, 5 days. My bad. Right? Beauty. And when we look at a technical analysis on it, what do we have? We have a big up, a retracement, healthy. We have a big up and then consolidation in this area. This here is your bullish pendant. So we want to come up now. And hopefully we come up to this next level of resistance. Because if we left this space in here, there's some wicks. It means typically, this is a big space to jump. And we know that we're still in the weekly consolidation box. Where are we within it? In the freaking middle. Is the sky falling? Did the PPI numbers crash the market? Depends what news feed you look at, I guess.
I feel like you could have another little box in between there. Can you not?
Where? Oh, right
Like
in here?
Yeah.
Remember when I say a box inside of a box inside of a box? Of course you can.
Sure do.
This is a week, right? So let's go into a daily. We can absolutely see right in here on the daily, and let's just kind of brighten up Why is that purple? Anyways, we can absolutely see it's resistance, resistance, support, resistance, support, resistance. This is a great daily consolidation box. Smack dab in the middle of the weekly. Wonder if that's a coincidence. Healthy retracements, healthy ups and downs are all part of natural markets. People panic during these things. We need these. Look what we just came up from. The market news, everybody's panicking. We're still up here. We're still making higher highs, higher lows. Nothing to panic. Retracement, sure. If you're playing the faster game, there were some lessons learned in our Discord about it. Should I get out? I'm at 4%. I saw a post back. I'd be like, you all know me. Take a fucking profit every single time. 4% is huge. In this market, it'll disappear like that. You know, now around 1% instead of that 4. And you're not compounding it. The compounding is what makes this work so well on the short-term trading. Long-term trading, yeah, you're still making nice double-digit returns, which are absurd. But you're not getting any of that compounding in the ebbs and flows. The ebbs and flows take work. You have to watch the market. You have to watch the money flow. If you make a mistake, be patient. We know we're on the upwards trend. It's going to go. But now your capital is tied up for that in-out game. But don't panic. When you zoom out and everything's still on good trajectory and you're trying to get out, but it went under where you went in, now you're just playing the waiting game. And if you went all in, you're definitely spending it. If you didn't, you wait for it to consolidate, look at the area of retest, and you dollar cost entry again, and then where it goes, you get a better return. So Cosmos, the sky's not falling. We're still, even from our entry, we're killing it. And we know, we got probably another 9% or so to go. Phantom, another one. I mean, boom. We didn't even have to take our lines away when we drew these. And it's just been following what we've been saying. And I've been trying to keep this as minimalist as I can because you can go back and look. And now we can see we're probably going to get over the weekend this curve. I'm actually going to shorten that. And then we want to start to go off again. So we want to see the price action consolidate and support this level. Because if not, guess where we're coming? This level. And possibly this level. But we have to see the curve for that to happen. And that's why I'm always like, what are the indicators telling you? The micro bull, micro bear is one of my favorite. It's not always right. And when it moves, it can happen fast. And when I say I like to get in on the belly of the bear for longing, just because it got into a belly right here doesn't mean it's going up all the time. And this is fast trading. Now, if you did, just like I said, held and you didn't panic and all this, you're still way up. And that's what trading good tokens over slower times helps. And if you're in our Discord, you've already seen the slow trade list. We've already seen a few people say we've already hit some in 1.5 days of the targeted percentages. And those have some good percentages in them. Just because I posted them, I'm not in them all, and I'm not. I just found them on the day when I went for the hunt. I've said that before, but not financial advice. Fuck, of course. Kusama.
Also, if you give advice on like where entry should be and what's looking good, days later, it's no longer something that people should.
Yeah, like OTA is
into.
OTA. Like we've been leaving this because we've called it since then. We know on this one, we bought this price back in here. We missed it forward, but we had our limit in. At least I told you to. Or said I would have. And we can see this is starting to curl. does it make sense at support and resistance that we're probably going to either consolidate or pull back down to, I mean, it's hitting that wick, almost hits this wick. That candle's not done. Hits that wick. And you can just go back and you'll find a ton of them, especially if you zoom in on the different time frames. So if you're in Kusama and you're up all this profit, yeah. If you're short trading, this is you're in the buy area now. You're not in the sell area. Are you in the best buy position right now? I don't think so. I just said we're probably going to bounce around in here. We're probably going to start to see that curl, which means the price is going to come down. But hopefully when it comes down, we start to see the reverse. Oh man, losing my mouse again. So we'll continue to watch Kusama. Like I said, I expect to kind of hopefully see the holding of this line and then back up again. And whether that back up again is on the Monday or on the Tuesday or the Wednesday, will be somewhere in there. So says my crystal ball.
Ms. Wildchild has a question for you, but it might be for after you look at these coins. But can I read it to you?
Question.
What's the difference between not panicking and holding and cashing out your percentage while you have it?
Well, when you have the money in your bank, you don't have to watch anymore, so you're no longer panicking. That's
nice. And obsessing over the charts.
Right. I do like sitting with money and knowing the fact that I made money as opposed to I might be losing it. What was the question? Say the question one more time. Sorry.
What's the difference between not panicking and holding and cashing out your percentage while you have it? Not panicking and holding. I'm not exactly sure.
I think she's comparing two different. This is what I think she's talking about. And please, Wildchild, correct me if I'm wrong.
Verify for us.
If you are slow trading, you don't care about these retracements. You're not selling out. You know they're going to happen. We talk about they're healthy, right? But also, like we talked about, that should be a big part of your budget. If you want to learn how to get in and out of these retracements and start stacking those percentages, yeah, you left your percentages on the table. You take them, you wait for the pullback, and you buy again in the pullback. And that's why compounding percentages makes you that much more. Because once you get down to the area where we're like, okay, if you sold up here, took some nice profits from down here, pull down, now you have more money, quite a bit more. And when we think this is where it's going to hold, might get a little under, might go a little over, but you rebuy with all the profits there and it takes off again, you're in that much more profit than you were if you were just holding it. But it's more work. You got to watch it. You got to trade it.
I think I said that on the Discord the other day. I was like, I've got to stop trading on like the daily and the weekly and looking back at the 1 hour, 2 hour, 4 hour and panicking every time it does this. Cause it just like, it fucks with my head when I know I'm looking like I've done my TA to know where I'm trying to get to. And yeah, it's not healthy for my brain.
Let's just quickly grab Phantom because the mouse is in front of it. This is Phantom on the daily. So right now, current price, if you got in on our target, you're at 12% in 9 days. That's still massive. But if you're playing these pullbacks and you're chasing the smaller percents between these, I would have been out in the 7s or the 6s, somewhere in here. Because we hadn't had the cross. That's massive percent in 2 days. And I would have expected pullback. Would I have been upset if I missed this? A little bit. That's part of the game. But I would have caught it again somewhere in here and then gone here, caught it again in here. And then, but that is not an easy game when you're brand new. When we're talking about this on the show and like this, you know, it's easy to, if you've only just started, make it look easy, for lack of better terms. And we see a lot of those questions in the Discord right now, which are great because there's a bunch of you guys are starting to have the ahas, like we just said, and you are starting to nail it. Now, the next part of that, theory versus reality, we talked about that in modules. Starting to see it and understand it is one thing. Next part is now play on it. Casper, Jesus Christ. I mean, really, it has been probably my favorite token the whole show. And I would love nothing more than the cross to just like happen anywhere within here. If you don't know, we've made these drawings so long ago, it's not even funny. We said the last couple of shows, it's not too late. Wait for the pullback. It's going to be around in here. There you are. Well, now with the money coming down out of the market, you're probably looking at a good entry right around in here. We haven't had 3 back. We have quite a lot. People are going to go enjoy the Friday night, come out, and they'll be like, yeah, I'll take my profits on Casper. I spent too much this weekend. And then we'll see a good entry. And we're just going to walk up like we did walk down. What did this take us? This was our 5th or something show. And we already said we know no one's going to time the bottoms, but we said it would probably hold this weekly resistance. So let's go to the consolidation when it started to happen. Still 28.5% on 18 days. So it stands to reason we're probably going to do the same up to this level. So yeah, if you're looking at something to get into, watch Casper maybe on the 4 hours and look for an entry and hold it for the next few weeks. Pending all the market cap stays the same and blah, blah, blah. Otherwise, you're holding it long term. The other 3 we've been doing is Vulcan Forge, Senate, and Filecoin. Vulcan Forge gaming token going to do well. We were talking about getting in and getting out at what price points. Interested. Now we're probably going to consolidate somewhere in here and start to work up to resistance again. I mean, damn. My bad. I'll stop loading. Senate. What did we have? We had our breakout. Our retest came all the way back and started. And we talked about that. We have been talking about this. It needed to hold inside of this consolidation box because this is where the majority of the price action resistance from down here has been happening. So now we want to bounce around, and we were talking in the different areas there. But on the bigger spectrum, that's where we are. And we're holding this line, starting to curl. So we might get a better entry down in here now. If you got the entry in here, like we talked about, you're still massively in profits. Why you didn't take profits here would be my question. But if you're just still holding this from the long run, you know, you're still going to probably be looking at all these different steps as we go. It makes sense. And we know typically they continue to walk. So yeah, there's still money to be made in Senate. Red days are sale days. Compression in an area we know is good. Compression builds breakouts. Let's see if it holds this area. And if you are holding it for the longer time, doesn't matter if you get it right here or right here. Because when we're talking those kind of percentages, that little bit of hair of a difference, you're going to be happy with. No worries.
When you are in longer trade, like how often do you check?
If I'm talking longer, like not slow trades, like the 1.5 days we just did, longer trades,
Yeah.
maybe because I do this all the time. I'm obviously looking.
It's in front of your face a lot, so I guess.
Yeah, but literally maybe every 3 to 5 days. You can get time frames that are multiple days that are nice to do the same stuff on because you're holding these for months. And then the bigger your capital gets for what and how you're investing, you're not investing as fast. Why would you? You know, if you start playing with the bigger money and you can just wait a month and get these kind of returns, why wouldn't you slow trade? Imagine playing with $100,000 in that.
I told you I can't
Right.
imagine that. I don't know what that
Right.
means.
Now you've made 22 grand in a week. Well, if you're not happy with 22 grand in a couple of few weeks, I don't know what's wrong with you.
Adjust your expectations.
Right. But
Yeah.
it takes a while to get to those kind of capital bags. But when you're there, you've heard me say so many times, $10,000 becomes an aha moment because you see how fast you're building hundreds of dollars a day.
Mhm.
If you're doing the day trading or swinging or every week, whatever your trading style is. And then when you get to 100K, that's where it gets ridiculous. Because say
Same
you haven't made,
theory, same indicators,
that's
same
why
plan.
percentages matter.
Yeah.
When you get to 100 grand, you're making, 5.5 to 6.5% on a trade in 2 hours. Do the math. And when you start doing those kind of compounding over the weeks, it gets ridiculous. I recommend therapy. Get a therapist. They're great. Filecoin. Getting that entry. Working our way up. So, losing my mouse again. That's been about the week in review for the most part. And the last part I wanted to talk a little bit because I've already seen the panic, the doom, it's gloom. Yes, we've actually had a recession announced from the UK, Japan, but none of this is news. We've all known that times are tough lately and things like that. So it's always important to remember those kind of things as well. And one of the things one of the tools that I like to do and look at is, where are we in the big market? Let's zoom out at the macro. In the crypto market, we're now in here. And we weren't in here until retail adopted. When
I can't see where here is because I don't know if anybody else sees a mouse somewhere, but
do you not see the background? A bell curve?
oh, just here, like the whole thing.
The screen, yeah.
Yeah, then yeah. I thought you were
Do you see a
pointing at
bunch of
something.
colors and an upside down bell curve? That's all I need to know.
Chills.
Chasm,
Sorry.
fragments. Yeah, we're good.
I can see the whole thing. I thought you were pointing at somewhere specifically, but here we are, folks. I'll mute my mic.
The yellow section here, I guess it's orange. Now we can correct.
Oh, son of a. Okay, bye.
This is where we're at in the terms of our market. Right? We have commercial interest. Commercial interest wasn't here. Now we have commercial identities. We still have people that think this is all a scam, like it's a joke. It's you're going to print more satoshis. Still my favorite thing. I think it was J.P. Morgan. And then people that deny it all the way to the very end, where it's just you're using that 7-Eleven. Buy your Slurpee. It becomes just normal case. When the internet first came out, buying something online was insane. You put your credit card online, you bought something online. Right? It's the same thing right now. So we're still in here. We're probably just this first little part in here because we don't have all the players, but we have major ones. BMW, Rolls-Royce, Starbucks. Coca-Cola has even released their NFT. And that was ages ago.
A ton of celebrities are part of it as well.
All right. Now, this is the psychology of the market. If you've never seen this before, where are we right now with everything that's going on? Are we in panic? Well, some aren't. Chicken Littles, they're in panic every few days. Every time a red candle hits, they panic. Right? Are we in denial? No. You know, disbelief, we lost a long time ago. We know we left disbelief a while ago because everybody on Twitter is now talking we're in a bull run. I've been saying we're in the bull run since January of last year. NFTs weren't. NFTs aren't the market. This is where we were January of last year. We've just been making nothing but higher highs then, you know, and we kind of started to go up here. We had a few pullbacks around the Christmas times and things. And then now we have a whole lot of optimism. Everybody's excited again. Real. If you've never seen this or you don't understand it, or if you have, this is my next favorite part. So I just layered to the psychology of the markets over the daily price of Bitcoin. And I did this a while ago. I'd have to check the date. I posted it on Twitter. So it looks to me, feels to me like we are in this area. Because this wasn't that long ago, maybe a couple of weeks. And maybe we're starting to have that first pullback. Why wouldn't we? 2 Januaries ago, I was trying to tell everybody buy here. Now we know that everybody's excited. ETFs are here. Oh, the halving's coming. Have you heard? The halving's coming. They're going to take your profits very soon. Whether this is the pump or the next, who knows? But I said, if you're long-term trading, these kind of things don't bother you. If you're dollar cost averaging, these things excite you because you buy them when they're having. You know, volatility is great if you're swing trading. You just have to learn which end of the volatility you want to be on. Right. So with that being said, this week we've done well. We've made a few whoopsies. We admitted our accidents, but accidents and whoopsies and learning experience doesn't mean you're acting like a sheep or a Chicken Little. And we have taken profits and we've had a great week. And we still have, this coming for the show of what I'm looking at. If you're in our Discord, you've already seen all sorts of entries and exits of all sorts of different things, which are always DYOR, and always with pullbacks, you'll get better entries, longer term, blah, blah, blah.
Not financial advice, a fucking course, blah, blah, blah.
Right. Happy Friday. I've talked enough. I am always trying to keep it around that 40 minutes to an hour. There's not a lot of news going on the weekend other than what I think we've covered. Happy trading if you're still in the trade, and good luck. And that's my goodbye. Crypto Katie, do you have anything?
Yeah, well, it's actually there's a holiday in Vancouver and all over Canada in February. So it's Family Day. So we got to spend time with our families. So we have Monday off. So we're actually going to practice what we preach and take that day off so we can actually take a sec. Maybe I can hug my son. Who knows?
We are going to touch grass. I still will be looking for entries because the rest of the world wakes up before we do, but there should be some juicy entries near the end of the weekend. But always watch the flow. If we're starting to go down, just wait.
We see what we did. We were talking about taking a minute, and you were like, "But I'm still gonna do all the work."
No, not all the work, just some of the work. I don't even know what you're talking about. It's over, ladies and gentlemen. The jury is closed. I don't know what you're talking about.